So you were getting ready to mention some stuff about the crappie and the hybrids and the white bass. So before we move in more into largemouth throughout the year, I wanted to touch on those species in the fall and winter time. Right now, and you talked about it in your fishing reports the last several weeks, this could be one of the best years you've ever seen on the white bass. So I wanted you to go into a little bit more detail what folks need to be looking for in the fall for the whites and the hybrids.
It's idiot fishing. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to use that term.
Yeah.
It just gets easy.
Yeah.
They will get on these windy chunk rock points, the shallower, flatter points with the wind blowing in, fish-sized chunk rock, and you can catch them on a poplar. You can catch them on a roadrunner. You can catch them on inline spinners. I like the Blue Fox, the 3/16 ounce and 8-pound line spinning gear, and they fight hard. And the hybrids will be mixed in with them, and most of those hybrids will come on a top water bait.
Yeah.
If they're going to hit that top water. It's just fun.
Yeah.
I mean, what I tell people, when it's at its height, from the time the water temperature hits 60 to 65 till it gets below 50 for that month or 6-week period, if you can't catch 25 to 30 fish a day a piece, you've had a slow day.
Yeah.
And most time it's more than that.
Right. Right.
And you get in the right areas, and it's not just certain specific parts of the lake. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, you just stay moving till you catch one or two, and then concentrate on that bank or that area, and there'll be a bunch more.
Yeah.
Now the thing of it is, earlier this year, we had white bass in that 6 to 8 inch, 10 inch category coming out of our ears. I mean, you couldn't knock them off, and they're kind of a nuisance.
Yeah.
And now those fish they grow a pound, pound and a half a year. Those fish are a pound, pound and a half, pound and a quarter, pound and 3/4, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I had a trip the other day. They weren't up shallow yet. We found them on a hump in about 15 to 18 feet of water. And once we found them,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I told these gentlemen, we hit 2 or 3 spots, they're not here.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not seeing them on that graph, you're wasting your time.
Right.
And I pulled up on a spot, and I'm like, we're in.
Yeah.
And we had triples 4 or 5 times. I mean, all of us hooked up.
Yeah.
And wound up getting our limit out of there in less than an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But when they go to the bank, it can be a lot more fun. I mean, my favorite way is the top water.
Right.
You're messing with 2, 3 treble hooks, but the little inline spinner is a little bit easier. And I will change the hooks on that and make them a little bigger so they don't swallow it as bad.
Yeah.
But that time from 60 to 65 till it gets below 50,
That's the time.
anywhere on the lake.
Anywhere on the lake.
Just find those windier banks with the fish-sized chunk rock points.
Yeah, because I know the lower lake traditionally has been very popular for hybrids specifically, and even white bass around the dam, KK Island, but it is nice to know that you don't have to come to this area to find them.
No, I've caught them really from Bucksaw down, from Tally Bend down, but my favorite area to concentrate on is the dam area and the lower Grand. That seems to hold some pretty good concentration.
Yeah, and that goes for white bass and hybrids both.
Well, that's the thing. You'll catch white bass, you'll catch hybrids, you'll catch largemouth, you'll catch Kentuckys, you know, that time of the year up on that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, they're usually not quality largemouth. You know, your quality fish are going to be farther back. There'll be a mixture.
I imagine you probably hook into the occasional walleye at times.
We do, especially on little spinners.
Yeah, that's an awful lot of fun. Those are good eating fish. So we talked about largemouth going into the fall and the water temperature. What about the crappie? What do folks need to be looking for?
You will see them transition 2 different segments, in my opinion. Some of these fish will go from summer pattern, brush piles and trees on the flats, to the bluffs, which is traditional winter pattern on this end of the lake. And some of them will go back in the creeks. I can remember some years back, my son and I, Christmas Eve, and we had a very mild fall, and we were in a old mill pond in the back end of, I believe it was Clear Creek or Brush Creek. I think it's Clear Creek. there's an old mill pond wall, and there's kind of a deep hole in front of it. We're fishing a jig and carp on Christmas Eve, 3 foot deep in this little hole. I mean, half an acre.
Yeah.
And crappie after crappie after crappie. The next day it got down to 6 below zero, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these fish will go back shallow for the fall, just like the white or like the largemouth do.
Yeah.
And some of them will move to the bluffs.